Welcome back to Kenton and Habiba. Today we're gonna be setting up my dining room. We're gonna start off literally in an empty room. We're gonna set up the table, the chairs, the decorations, the mirrors, and a ton of personality. Lots of art. So if you like these type of videos, why don't you stay and join me? If you're new to the channel, my name is Habiba and we would love to have you here. I post lifestyle videos about my family, our travels, Korea, and a ton of food. So we would love to have you join our family and welcome. Let's get started. First thing to go up is this giant mirror. And you probably can't tell how big it is. I'm gonna stand next to it. All right, so it's a pretty big, solid antique mirror, and I got this many years ago at an auction. Love the detail on it, and it's super heavy, like I said, so we weighed it because I wanted to make sure I had the right hooks to put it up. My son, Khalid's gonna help me. So I was trying to explain to my son how important it is for us to measure the mirror. This is the back of the mirror, and make sure it aligns properly, because the worst thing you want is to hang it and realize you didn't leave or allocate enough height. This leaves the least amount of damage to the wall because it's literally like putting a thumbtack. So even though it looks super long, the actual hole that goes through the wall is super skinny. And so we used 2 of them because, like I said, the mirror was at least 30 pounds and this will only support 25 pounds. You see how skinny it is? So it kind of goes into the wall. Actually, no, it goes into the wall like that, and then you just barely see this hook sticking out. So this is what it looks like on the wall. You see that? Look how small that is. It's literally the small curved hook coming up outside. All right, I think I might need to go assist.
Nah, you can do that.
Uh-oh, yeah, it's a little tilted. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Just go the opposite direction very gently. No, the opposite direction, yeah. Yep, just you gotta do little minor. Okay, I think it's parallel to the baseboard. Okay, I think it's straight. What do you think? Ta-da! So now we got the curtains and the formal mirror. The next thing we're gonna put is a banquet. Is that what you call it? Buffet, sorry, buffet. Buffet table that's gonna go there. Item number 3. This thing is huge. Huge and beautiful. Very old world, right? I love, it's like I have a very eclectic style in the sense that I like modern, I like things that are also pretty vintage and have history and have details. So when it comes to a formal dining room, I just like the idea of history and glamour and over the top. So I think this is going to be perfect, or this is perfect. I decided to add these old vintage lamps. I think they're lamps, but I use them as candelabras, and I've had them for many years. So I put it up and then realized they were kind of dusty and needed to be cleaned off, so that's what I did. And then I added a few other pieces like these dessert stands, and I also had some silver pieces, which I can't wait to show you in a future video what a steal these were. You see these beautiful shiny dishes? You won't believe how cheap and inexpensive they were, and they are silver, okay? So I got them looking shiny and new. And this here's a old antique clock. It's a real mantel clock made of bronze, and it's worth quite a bit of money. It's probably one of the most expensive things I own, and I've also had that for over 10 years. Like I said, I love mixing vintage pieces with modern pieces. This clock is definitely one of a kind, and it was actually made by a company in New York back in the early 1900s. It actually still works. You know what? Leave it open. That would be good, even though it's super tight in here. See that. So it doesn't need 2 people to open it.
Yeah, you probably do.
Really?
Goes on the table right here.
Right. Oh, okay.
And on the other side, there's no holes.
Yeah, you know what? You guys better do it because...
Yeah, it just slides in.
Awesome.
And then it latches on the bottom.
Oh, really?
Take it out, it's only
Right.
2 latches when you take it.
Okay, beautiful. Yep, there they go. I think you can really see though. But yeah, super nice. Ta! The table. It's super long. Let's give you a close-up. My grandfather taught me the value of real wood, so I'm always examining pieces to see or to make sure it's not just a veneer and that they're authentic. And this is so beautiful to me. So even though this is a smaller dining room than dining rooms I've had in the past, I'm really excited to have a space to accommodate a lot of people. And I just love how dining rooms bring families together, bring friends together, are a place where we celebrate and just mark special occasions. I just love the old world feel of a dining room. Here I was trying to make sure that the chair could be pulled out because like I said, it is a smaller space. So now we need to start putting up our artwork. So this piece I actually have had since I was a little girl. My mom had bought a piece of fabric when we used to live in Nigeria, and Kenton, my husband, had framed it for me many years ago as a birthday present. So it's been moving from house to house with me. And if you're a Nigerian, shout out to you, or if you're African, shout out to you. I also have a number of masks I've been collecting. These are actually from Bali. I've never been to Bali, but it's on my wish list. This is a mask from West Africa, actually Nigeria. Those are supposed to be tribal marks and a chameleon on its head. This is a gift from my mother back when I was in my 20s. It's actually from Kenya. So these are mats that I also have brought with me from Nigeria when I was young, and they're actually used to cover pots or used in the kitchen. And those mats with the animals were a gift from a coworker. So I love putting things around me that remind me of my heritage and remind me of things that I find to be beautiful. I don't mind, you know, standing out or looking like some sort of foreigner. I embrace my uniqueness, and I encourage you to also celebrate your heritage and not feel that you need to look like everybody else or that your decor needs to blend in with everybody else, because that's boring. This picture I actually drew back when I was in college, and I always hang it up because it reminds me to, you know, take out a pencil and draw, and don't forget my creative artistic side. So yeah, I love her. And that is actually a necklace, a handmade necklace that I got from an African store. It's similar to the necklace that you see in the drawing that I have. So it's an East African necklace. So anything can be art. You know, if you have some big jewelry pieces that you want to hang up, why not? The story behind this piece of sugar cane, it is dry, it is old, it is at least almost 10 years old. And my grandfather used to grow sugarcane on his property in Florida, and he would bring it to me before he passed away, so I've kept it. So after all that decorating, we've got a lot of dust and a lot of just debris from different things, so I needed to clean up. Okay, so I have this little sort of basket container or dish, and I thought it would look nice on the table. I wanted to keep it simple since there was so much color on the walls. but I always feel like if a room just has objects in it, it feels cold. So I have to add a plant. I've had this bonsai for, wow, 10 years or more. I swear to God, 10 years or more. That plant has moved with us everywhere we've gone, and I've kept it alive. So I think it's originally a ficus that was turned into a bonsai. Okay, so I have these ornaments that I've picked up from Ross, I've picked up from World Market. Every store I go and I see them, I buy them. They're Indian, they're supposed to be good to ward off spirits. You're supposed to put them on the entrance of your door. And so I put it on the curtain rail, and I also put it on the entrance to the dining room on both sides. And I thought it looked cute. Then my attention was drawn to the corner I thought looked kind of bare, so I thought I would put either a false plant or something there. So I have this giant vase, which I've also had for many years, very pretty. And I have these artificial, I guess leaves, they're called elephant leaves or elephant plant. We used to grow them in Nigeria. I put it there, it's cute, but I wasn't feeling it, so I did decide to change it to a real plant, which you'll see later. And a dining room calls for candles. So to add that glam feel, old world feel, I added some long tapered candles, which I think I got from Michael's. And then I added some fresh flowers, and that came from the garden. And you can see my silver, and we're done. So that was it. So we started with an empty room, and now I have this Afrocentric boho glam dining room. I do need some more chairs, so I decided to add these ghost chairs that I already have, and I think it looks nice, but I have ordered some matching chairs which will come later. So what do you think? Do you like how it turned out? Is this completely not your style, or are there some elements in here you really like? I think again we're all unique, and our spaces should reflect who we are. But while you're looking at that, I wanted to remind you, to make sure that you use what you have. Don't wait for special occasions, because I have seen so many people pass away, then their beautiful china just sat in cabinets and they never used them. Use your stuff. And don't go bankrupt trying to impress people. Again, use what you have. And then overall, I would say make sure your space feels comfortable and accessible to people. Don't be afraid to stand out and be unique. And at the same time, make sure your guests feel welcome and important, because that's what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you were inspired and found something that might be helpful for your own dining room. I can't wait for you to come back to see me set up our Thanksgiving table. Yes, I'm going to set it up, deck out the table with pumpkins and flowers, and it's going to be very glam, sort of a modern take on farmhouse, even with my Afrocentric decor in here. And yeah, I can't wait for you to come back. Here's a little hint. So most of my decor is going to be natural. This is a real pumpkin. Isn't she beautiful? So thank you for your views. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate it. And I can't wait for you to come back soon. God bless, and love from North Carolina. Bye.